hairless animal moves through a grassy corridor in Houston, walking calmly where it should hesitate, its proportions just off enough to resist easy identification. Years earlier, sheriff's deputies in rural Texas capture an animal on a dashboard camera, familiar in motion until the footage is frozen and its outline examined. Outside a zoo in Amarillo, a motion-activated camera records a dark, upright silhouette lingering near a fence line, standing longer than balance should allow. Deep in a forest, a handheld camera catches brief glimpses of a dark shape between trees, appearing, holding still, then vanishing before certainty can form. And in Colorado, an emaciated animal feeds outside a woman's home, makes eye contact, shows no fear, and lingers where a sick scavenger should retreat. These encounters span different years, locations, and technologies. Still images, dashcams, security cameras, phone footage. None provide clarity. Each offers plausible explanations that fit at first glance, then quietly fail on closer inspection. The label often applied to such sightings is Chupacabra, a term that emerged in the 1990s after unexplained livestock deaths in Puerto Rico. Today, it functions less as a creature's name than a placeholder, used when evidence resists classification and refuses certainty. Houston, Texas, the corridor photograph. In 2019, a viewer submitted a photograph captured an animal moving through a grassy corridor on Houston's west side, near Richmond Avenue and Highway 6, behind a Shell facility. It isn't running. It isn't reacting to the camera. It's walking, head low, body exposed. The animal appears largely hairless, skin stretched over a narrow frame, the spine pronounced, the tail thin. Its gait looks uneven but controlled, more deliberate than frantic. There are no visible wounds, no signs of aggression, just a shape that feels unfinished. Local explanations followed quickly. A dog suffering from mange, a diseased coyote, both common in the region, both consistent with hair loss and altered movement. On paper, the explanation fits, but the image doesn't fully resolve. The proportions appear off. The hind legs look unusually long. The back slopes in a way that doesn't cleanly match healthy canids, even compromised ones. And most notably, there's no obvious distress. Mange usually weakens animals. This one is upright, mobile, purposeful. That ambiguity is why some reach for the term Chupacabra. Not as a biological claim, but as a placeholder. A name applied when an image refuses to settle into something familiar. Biologists dismiss the creature as folklore. Yet photographs like this keep appearing. Each explainable, each incomplete, and each leaving just enough space for doubt to survive. But 1 year earlier, a moving vehicle caught something on camera, and the deputies inside couldn't explain what they saw either. DeWitt County, Texas, dashboard camera encounter. In August 2008, deputies from the DeWitt County Sheriff's Office were driving rural roads near Cuero, Texas, checking fence lines when an animal crossed into view. The encounter was brief, but it was captured on the patrol vehicle's dashboard camera. The animal ran parallel to a fence before slipping into brush. It appeared roughly the size of a coyote, yet its condition stood out. The body looked mostly hairless. The skin appeared gray. The torso seemed narrow, with hind legs longer than expected, creating proportions that did not immediately register as familiar. The media outlet that breaks the story calls it possible Chupacabra. Sheriff Joe Zaveski later addressed the footage publicly. "I've never seen anything like it," he said, noting that while it resembled a canid, it did not match animals he typically encountered in the county. Deputy Brandon Riedel echoed that uncertainty. They said the creature didn't arouse suspicion until they froze the video and saw the animal's profile. That's when it struck what they were seeing was not a known animal. No official classification followed. The sheriff's office did not claim a monster, nor did it issue a definitive explanation. Skeptics pointed to motion blur, lighting, and the possibility of mange, a disease known to drastically alter the appearance of coyotes and dogs. That hesitation, preserved on camera, keeps Chupacabra label alive. 14 years later, a zoo security camera would capture something that didn't move like any animal on record. Amarillo, Texas, zoo security footage. Shortly after 1:25 a.m. on May 21, 2022, a motion-activated security camera outside the Amarillo Zoo captured a figure moving along the perimeter fence. The image is dark and indistinct, but the silhouette immediately unsettles. Whatever triggered the camera appears upright, not rearing, not mid-jump, standing. Two long legs seem to support the body from beneath. The upper shape is bulky, irregular, almost shaggy, but without clear arms or a visible head. There is no obvious tail. The posture is vertical enough to invite questions, yet incomplete enough to deny answers. The city of Amarillo released the image publicly. Was it a person with a strange hat who likes to walk at night? A large coyote on its hind legs? A chupacabra? The city wrote, inviting the public to help identify what appeared on the camera. A canine explanation was quickly suggested. Coyotes are common. Cameras distort depth. Animals rear up briefly. All true, but the frame resists that logic. Canines do not linger upright, and there is no clear sign of forward motion or descent. Only a stillness that suggests the figure is occupying space rather than passing through it. The image offers no resolution, only a posture that shouldn't last and yet does. The next encounter wasn't caught on a security camera, it was caught on a handheld, in a forest, by someone who wasn't sure what was watching them back. Forest footage, handheld encounter. A handheld camera moves through dense forest, breath uneven, steps unsteady. The light is wrong for clarity. Shadows overlap. Depth collapses between trees. Then something appears. Not close, not centered. A dark shape appears briefly between trunks, just clear enough to register before the camera shifts again. There is no clear outline. Maybe a face of a dog-like creature. Eyes shining. No detail to settle on. Just a presence where one doesn't expect it. The uploader of the video calls it a real Chupacabra sighting. The figure does not rush forward. It does not flee. It remains where it is, appears to stare back at the camera. Each glimpse is incomplete. Each one ends before certainty can form. The lack of movement is what unsettles. It doesn't move like an animal crossing the frame. There is no obvious drop to all fours. Just a face looking back at the camera. The posture holds just long enough to raise the wrong question. Could it be another animal? Perhaps. But the posture looks out of place. Lack of reaction from the creature is strange too. The clip never offers confirmation. Only a sense that something was there and chose not to remain in view. The camera keeps moving. Whatever stood between the trees does not follow. The last encounter is the closest. Filmed on a porch in full view by someone who had nowhere to look away. Pueblo, Colorado, the porch encounter. In April 2025, a woman in Pueblo, Colorado recorded an animal outside her home late at night. The footage is close, dim, and unsteady, lit only by a porch light. What appears in frame does not rush or retreat. It lingers. The body looks thin, almost stretched, covered in coarse dark fur. The limbs seem too long for its size. The head is narrow, the snout pointed, the eyes small and set far apart. When it lowers itself to eat from a bowl of cat food, its movements are deliberate. When it lifts its head, it holds eye contact. That stillness is what unsettles. The animal does not spook. It continues feeding while being filmed, as if unconcerned with being seen. Later, neighbors reported spotting the same figure digging through trash before slipping into a drainage ditch. When light was shined inside, something hissed back from the darkness. Wildlife officials suggested a raccoon with mange, a condition known to strip fur and alter posture. The explanation accounts for disease, but not demeanor. Mangy animals weaken. They hesitate. They retreat. This one did not. The footage leaves the encounter close, visible, and unresolved. 5 encounters, different places, different explanations, none that fully close the question. Each image invites certainty, then withdraws it. Whether disease, misidentification, or something unnamed, the pattern remains the same. Familiar shapes behave in unfamiliar ways, and what people glimpse briefly never stays long enough to be resolved. The story doesn't end here. For more mysteries, Join us and subscribe to Beyond the Myth.